Have you ever wondered what truly separates a billionaire from the rest of the world? It's not luck, it's not family background, and it's not just hard work. The real secret lies in principles that most people never learn. In this video, we will uncover the secret to becoming a billionaire, the mindset, the strategies, and the exact formula that the world's richest people have used to build massive fortunes. And the amazing thing is, these secrets are not hidden. They are available to anyone who is willing to learn and apply them. But before we begin, if you are truly serious about building financial freedom, hit the like button so the YouTube algorithm knows you're ready to level up. And don't forget to subscribe to Secrets to Wealth, because every week we share powerful strategies to help you grow your money, your mindset, and your future. Trust me, you definitely don't want to miss what's coming next. Now, let's get started. The Billionaire Blueprint begins right now. Before we talk about business models, investments, or opportunities, we have to start with the foundation. And that foundation is mindset. Money is always the result of mindset first and action second. If you gave a billionaire $1,000, they could turn it into $10,000, $100,000, or even more. But if you gave that same money to someone with a poor money mindset, they would likely spend it on instant gratification, like clothes, gadgets, or entertainment. The difference isn't the money, it's the mindset. Most people operate with a scarcity mindset, always believing there isn't enough money, enough opportunities, or enough time, and that belief keeps them trapped. Billionaires think differently. They live with an abundance mindset, knowing there is always more money to be made, more opportunities to seize, and more doors waiting to be opened. When Jeff Bezos launched Amazon, people thought the world didn't need another bookstore. But he didn't just see books, he saw the entire retail industry moving online. That's abundance thinking. The first secret is to shift your mindset from scarcity to abundance. Stop asking, "What if I fail?" and start asking, "What if I succeed beyond anything I've ever imagined?" Another key difference is how they view risk. Most people chase safety, while billionaires embrace calculated risk. Not blind gambles, but informed and strategic moves. Elon Musk is a clear example. After making hundreds of millions from PayPal, he could have retired comfortably, but instead, he risked everything on Tesla and SpaceX, companies that most people predicted would fail. He was willing to risk it all because his vision was greater than his fear. Safety keeps you comfortable, but risk creates wealth. And when it comes to failure, billionaires don't avoid it, they expect it. The difference is that they use failure as a teacher instead of a barrier. Thomas Edison once said he hadn't failed, he had simply found 10,000 ways that wouldn't work. That's the billionaire mindset. Every setback is a lesson. Every rejection is redirection. If you want to build real wealth, you must stop seeing failure as the end and start seeing it as feedback. Another truth is that billionaires rarely chase money for its own sake. They chase vision, impact, and scale, and the money follows. Mark Zuckerberg didn't start Facebook to become a billionaire. He started it because he wanted to connect the world. His vision was so big that wealth became inevitable. The question you must ask yourself is, what is my vision? And how can I solve problems not just for one person, but for millions? And finally, billionaires think long-term. Most people think in days or months, but billionaires think in decades. Warren Buffett is the perfect example. His fortune didn't come overnight. It came from patience, compounding, and decades of long-term thinking. If you want billionaire results, you need billionaire patience. You need to plant seeds today that may take years to grow, but when they do, the rewards will be massive. The bottom line is this: abundance over scarcity, risk over safety, resilience over fear, vision over money, and long-term thinking over short-term gains. That is the billionaire mindset, and it is the foundation of every fortune ever built. Now that we've laid the foundation with mindset, it's time to move into the billionaire formula, the practical blueprint that turns vision into massive wealth. Every billionaire, no matter their industry, follows the same core principles, and those principles can be broken down into 4 parts: value creation, scalability, ownership, and leverage. First comes value creation. Billionaires create massive value for other people. Money always flows to value. Jeff Bezos built Amazon because it made life easier for millions of people. Warren Buffett built wealth by helping companies grow and investors prosper. Oprah created value by inspiring and empowering her audience. The bigger the problem you solve and the more people you help, the more wealth you attract. Ask yourself, whose life am I improving and how big is the impact I'm making? The next piece is scalability. Many people can provide value, but if what you do cannot grow beyond your own time and effort, you'll always be limited. A doctor who sees patients one by one is capped, but if that doctor creates an app that helps millions, suddenly their impact scales. Bill Gates didn't go door to door installing software. He built Microsoft so it could be replicated on millions of computers worldwide. Scalability is what separates a business from an empire. Then comes ownership. Employees trade time for money, but billionaires own assets that generate wealth even while they sleep. Elon Musk owns Tesla and SpaceX, Bernard Arnault owns luxury brands, and Jay-Z owns music rights, businesses, and art. Ownership is leverage, and it's how fortunes are built. If you don't own, you'll never scale to billionaire wealth. Finally, we have leverage. Leverage is the force multiplier that allows billionaires to do more with less. There are three main types: money leverage, people leverage, and technology leverage. Money leverage is using other people's money to grow wealth, like real estate investors using bank loans or venture capitalists funding startups. People leverage is building teams, hiring talent, and partnering with others. No billionaire built their empire alone. And technology leverage is the most powerful today, using the internet, software, and AI to reach millions with minimal cost. YouTube itself is a form of leverage. It lets you broadcast to the world instantly. The difference between millionaires and billionaires is often how effectively they use leverage. Look at Mark Zuckerberg. He created value by giving people a way to connect. He scaled it through software. He owned a massive stake in Facebook, and he leveraged both people and technology to expand. That's the billionaire formula in action. So ask yourself, what value am I creating? How can I scale it? What do I own? And how can I use leverage to multiply results? Billionaires aren't born, they're built. And anyone willing to think bigger, take risks, and apply this formula can follow the same path. To truly understand how the billionaire formula works, let's look at some real-world case studies, because nothing drives the point home like seeing it in action. Take Elon Musk, for example. After selling PayPal, he could have retired comfortably, but instead he reinvested almost everything into Tesla and SpaceX, companies that were considered long shots. He created massive value by pushing electric vehicles and renewable energy into the mainstream. He scaled production worldwide. He maintained ownership with significant equity. And he leveraged both technology and brilliant teams of engineers. Today, those risks and that vision have made him one of the richest men alive. Now, consider Warren Buffett. His approach was completely different, but the formula still applies. Buffett created value by investing in businesses that grew stronger under his guidance. He scaled by building Berkshire Hathaway into a global investment powerhouse. He kept ownership by holding large stakes in companies, and he leveraged time and compounding as his greatest tools. He proved that patience and discipline can build billions. Then we have Jeff Bezos. He started with an online bookstore, but he didn't see books. He saw the future of commerce. He created value by making shopping faster and more convenient. He scaled through logistics and technology that allowed Amazon to serve the entire globe. He held ownership through shares that skyrocketed in value. And he leveraged technology, capital, and talent to dominate multiple industries, from retail to cloud computing. And then there's Oprah Winfrey, who began with almost nothing. She created value by inspiring and empowering millions of viewers through her talk show. She scaled her influence into magazines, networks, and production companies. She maintained ownership of her brand and her media empire. And she leveraged partnerships, licensing, and content distribution to expand her reach across the world. 4 completely different industries, but the same underlying formula at work. Create massive value, build something that scales, hold ownership, and apply leverage. These case studies prove that the billionaire blueprint is not limited to one path. It adapts to whoever is bold enough to apply it. The lesson for you is clear. No matter where you start, the principles remain the same. Another powerful element that billionaires understand is the importance of networks. Wealth is never created in isolation. It's built through connections, relationships, and collaborations. Billionaires know that who you surround yourself with can either limit you or launch you. They build networks filled with mentors, partners, investors, and innovators who bring opportunities, resources, and knowledge that they could never achieve alone. Think about it. Elon Musk didn't build rockets by himself. He connected with the brightest engineers and investors who believed in his vision. Warren Buffett often speaks about the importance of his partnership with Charlie Munger, a relationship that has sharpened his thinking and guided decades of decisions. Oprah didn't rise alone. She built alliances in media, business, and philanthropy that amplified her impact worldwide. Networks create leverage because every new connection can unlock doors to funding, expertise, and markets that were once out of reach. And these networks don't happen by accident. They are intentionally built. Billionaires put themselves in the right rooms, they invest in relationships, and they think long term about the value of people in their circle. The takeaway is simple. If you want to grow your wealth, you must grow your network. Ask yourself, who do I need to connect with? Who can challenge me? Who can mentor me? And who can I add value to in return? Because the truth is, your net worth is often a reflection of your network. Another defining trait of billionaires is their ability to see innovation and problem solving as the ultimate opportunities. While most people see problems as obstacles, billionaires see them as doorways to wealth. The bigger the problem, the bigger the potential reward for solving it. Look at how Elon Musk viewed climate change and space exploration. Where others saw impossible challenges, he saw opportunities to build Tesla and SpaceX. Jeff Bezos looked at the inefficiencies of traditional shopping and solved them with Amazon. Bill Gates saw the need for user-friendly computers and solved it with Microsoft. Every fortune begins with identifying a problem that millions or even billions of people face, and then creating a solution that works at scale. This is why billionaires are obsessed with innovation, because innovation is simply problem solving on a massive scale. They ask themselves questions like, what pain points exist in this industry? What frustrations do people deal with every day? What will the world need 5 or 10 years from now? And how can I create the solution before anyone else does? And they don't stop at identifying problems. They commit themselves to relentless experimentation, constantly testing and improving until the solution becomes undeniable. The lesson here is clear. If you want to build wealth, start looking for problems to solve. The bigger the problem you choose, the greater the opportunity to create massive impact and massive wealth. Another cornerstone of billionaire success is financial discipline and the intelligent use of leverage. Billionaires understand money in a way that most people never do, and that's why they are able to multiply it instead of losing it. They are disciplined with how they spend, invest, and reinvest their capital. While the average person often spends money as soon as it arrives, billionaires reinvest their profits into assets that continue to grow their wealth. Warren Buffett is famous for living modestly compared to his fortune because he knows that money sitting in luxury cars or oversized mansions is money not working for him. Instead, he puts his capital into businesses that generate even more money. Another key element is how billionaires use debt and leverage. Average people often fear debt or use it recklessly, but billionaires use it strategically. They borrow money to buy assets that increase in value or generate cash flow. Real estate investors, for example, borrow from banks to purchase properties that pay them rent every month. Entrepreneurs borrow capital to scale their companies and reach markets faster. Debt, when used wisely, becomes a tool that accelerates growth rather than a trap. The principle is simple. Don't spend for instant gratification. Invest for long-term multiplication. Financial discipline and smart leverage allow billionaires to turn small wins into empires. Beyond money and strategy, billionaires also understand the importance of lifestyle choices that support their vision. Wealth at the highest level requires focus, energy, and clarity, and that comes from how they live every single day. Many billionaires value their health as much as their business because they know their body and mind are the engines that drive everything else. They prioritize exercise, rest, and mental resilience. They also commit to continuous learning, reading books, studying new industries, and staying curious about the world. Warren Buffett still spends hours reading every day. Bill Gates is known for his Think Weeks, where he disconnects just to study and reflect. And Elon Musk is constantly learning about engineering, physics, and technology. Another lifestyle choice is the ability to say no. Billionaires guard their time fiercely, focusing only on activities that align with their vision. They know that every distraction comes at the cost of their long-term goals. And finally, they surround themselves with people who challenge them, not just flatter them, because growth happens in environments of accountability and high standards. These lifestyle choices, health, learning, focus, and relationships, may not look as glamorous as luxury cars or private jets, but they are the foundation that allows billionaires to sustain their success and keep building for decades. So, how can you take these billionaire principles and actually apply them to your own life? The answer is to create a personal action plan. First, start with mindset. Shift from scarcity to abundance. Embrace calculated risks. View failure as feedback and think in decades instead of days. Second, focus on value creation. Ask yourself what problems you can solve for other people and how those solutions can impact not just a few, but thousands or even millions. Third, design for scalability. Look at the work you're doing and find ways to multiply it through systems, technology, or teams so your effort can grow without being limited by your time. Fourth, seek ownership. Build or invest in assets that pay you over and over again, whether that's businesses, real estate, stocks, or intellectual property. Fifth, use leverage wisely. Leverage money, leverage people, and leverage technology to magnify your results. Sixth, build your network intentionally. Surround yourself with mentors, partners, and ambitious thinkers who can elevate your vision and open new doors. And finally, commit to discipline in your lifestyle. Protect your health, keep learning, guard your time, and choose relationships that make you stronger. This action plan isn't just theory. It's the practical way to begin walking the same path billionaires have walked. It may not make you a billionaire overnight, but over time, these steps will move you closer to freedom, impact, and wealth on a scale you might never have thought possible. At the end of the day, the secret to becoming a billionaire is not a single trick or shortcut. It's a way of thinking and living that compounds over time. Billionaires think bigger. They take bolder risks, they stay resilient when others quit, and they focus on creating impact at massive scale. They use systems, networks, and leverage to multiply their results, and they stay patient, allowing their vision to unfold over decades. The path is challenging, but it is not impossible because every billionaire you know started as an ordinary person who made extraordinary choices. So the real question is, what choices will you make today? Will you keep thinking small, chasing safety, and settling for comfort? Or will you start applying these principles and building a life of wealth and freedom? If you're serious about creating that future, hit the like button, subscribe to Secrets to Wealth, and turn on notifications so you never miss the strategies that could change your life. Remember, wealth is not built by chance. It's built by choice. Make the choice today, and your billionaire journey begins now.